Hi everyone. Now we are going to discuss on single phase fully controlled bridge rectifier with resistive and inductive load, that is an RL load, and continuous conduction. So here continuous conduction is because the inductance is very much higher than when compared to the resistance. So therefore the current will be lagging behind the voltage, and also the current to come to zero, it will be taking more amount of time, and before the current goes to zero, again the next set of thyristors are being turned on, so again the current will be continuing to conduct, so it will never reach to zero. And therefore if you're assuming that your continuous conduction, then your current is assumed to be a constant value. So in our discussion here, we'll be assuming our output current I0 to be always at a constant value. So now your thyristor T1 and T2 are forward biased from the period 0 to pi. Similarly, from pi to 2 pi, the thyristors T3 and T4 are forward biased. That means these thyristors can be turned on at any instant of time over there. So in this analysis, there are two things which we are going to discuss. One is a mode 1, that is in the rectifying mode, and mode 2, that is the inverting mode. And that discussion we will have it on a later stage. So since the T1 and T2 are forward biased, both the thyristors has to be turned on at the same time. That is, the triggering pulse has to be given at the same time, so that there is a simultaneous turning on of the thyristors T1 and T2. So when T1 and T2 are turned on, the current will be flowing from the source, then your L, T1 through R and L, then T2, and again back to supply at point N. So it will complete one particular cycle. So that I am going to draw it over here. The output voltage V0, this is the triggering set for IG1 and IG2, that is for the T1 and T2 at this particular instance. So this is nothing but showing the triggering pulse which given to T1 and T2. So it is getting turned on over here. And it goes like this. Now, so at that particular instant of time, the current I0 will be gradually, it will be increasing, and since it is a highly inductive, then there may not be that much band gap will not be there. So a small increase may be there like this, and it will not reach to zero, and therefore it will reaching to zero at a later period of time. So therefore what happens, your voltage has reversed and the current has not come to zero. So therefore the thyristor T1 and T2 will be still in the conduction mode, and therefore the output voltage goes to a negative cycle. So the current will be moving like this, and again at pi, after pi, again I am going to give the triggering pulse for IG3 and IG4, and that is again at an angle of alpha. So this angle is nothing but alpha here. What happens? The thyristors T3 and T4 are getting turned on. The thyristor T3 and T4 will get turned on. So earlier the current direction is in the same direction. The I0 is flowing like this. But what happens is that when T3 and T4, since it is forward biased, I can give you the triggering pulse, and therefore it will start conducting. So when it starts conducting, it will take over the current which was carried by the thyristor T1 and T2 to thyristors T3 and T4. Therefore, the thyristors T1 and T2 will go off to the commutated mode, and T3 and T4 will be conducting. Now from where it will be conducting? It will be conducting from the lower part of source, that is point N, T3, R, L, then T4, then to the point L, and then to the source. So here you can see that now the current is moving in the opposite direction to the conventional direction of your IS, which we have plotted over here. So therefore, so from pi to 2 pi, at pi plus alpha, you are triggering on the thyristors T1, T3 and T4. So it will be conducting like this. So that time what happens, your current will again starts, a small increase will be there like this. And at 2 pi the voltage reverses. That means the reverse voltage will be coming across the thyristors T3 and T4, but the current has not gone below the holding current, so therefore it will be still in the conduction mode. So you will be having the waveform like this. So again at 2 pi plus alpha, so this is again alpha, I am going to trigger on the thyristors T1 and T2. So again it will start conducting. It will be moving like this. So I can again finish off from 0 to alpha also here. So this angle is nothing but alpha. That is nothing but my firing angle. So the current will be like this. So the current I0 is assumed to be always a continuous conduction current. So what I can do is that I can just replace these small changes for our analysis. We can draw it as a straight line like this. So that will be I0, a continuous conduction. So that is with the overall picture for V0 and I0. Now we will plot the waveform for voltage across the thyristors. So the thyristor voltage will be similar for T1 and T2, again similar for T3 and T4. So here I will be drawing T1 and T2. So here we will also mark the conducting period of the thyristors. So here I can say that my thyristor T1 and T2 are conducting, and here again T3 and T4 are conducting. So now we will be drawing the thyristor voltages T1 and T2. So from alpha to pi and from pi to pi plus alpha, T1 and T2 are conducting. So that is nothing but this particular period. That is from alpha to pi plus alpha. So from when it is conducting, it means that the voltage across thyristor is 0. So this is nothing but the voltage across, nothing but the voltage across thyristors T1 and T2, VT1 and VT2. So since T1 and T2 are conducting from alpha to pi plus alpha, I can draw a 0 voltage. Now at pi plus alpha, it is turned off. Therefore, whatever that reverse voltage which is coming over there will be applied across your thyristors T1 and T2. So again it is getting turned on only at 2 pi plus alpha. So it will be continuing from 2 pi to 2 pi plus alpha in the same way. So here also you can just complete this. So that is how VT1 and VT2. Similar to that, you can also plot VT3 and VT4. That I am not going to draw it over here. Now we need to plot the current through T1 and T2. And we have assumed that the output current to be constant like this, a constant current I0. And therefore, your T1 and T2 will always be a flat value. The only thing is that through which time it is conducting. So here T1 and T2 is conducting during this period, so that time only the current will flow, and from pi plus alpha to 2 pi plus alpha, it is in the off state. That means the current is 0. So how can we draw that? So during this particular period, from alpha to pi plus alpha, same I naught will be there. Now from pi plus alpha to 2 plus pi plus alpha, it is in the off state, and therefore current is 0. So this we can again continue it like this. So that is for the current T1 and T2. Now we will also draw it for our source voltage and the source current. So this is nothing but your source voltage Vs, and we are going to plot our source current Is. So source current Is, you can observe it over here. It is moving from alpha to pi plus alpha. The thyristor T1 and T2 are conducting, so the current I naught will be flowing like this. So Is is same as I naught, and that I naught is nothing but the current which is flowing through the thyristors T1 and T2. So it will be same as T1 and T2 current. So I will be drawing like this for T1 and T2. Now from pi plus alpha to 2 pi plus alpha, the thyristor T3 and T4 are conducting. So that time we can see that the current is flowing from this particular point through T3, through R and L, again from T4, and it is going in the opposite direction of the marked Is. That means it is going to conduct the current. Thyristor T3 and T4 is going to conduct the current when T1 and T2 currents are 0. Or I can say that that current will be in the reverse direction of your conventional direction of marked Is. So therefore, I can draw that particular current like this. So if I join this, the current conduction of the current will be like this. So this is nothing but your current Is, and the peak value of that particular current is nothing but I naught, which is nothing but obtained over this one. So this I will also mark it as I naught. So you can also mark the fundamental component of that particular current, Is. So this will be a fundamental component of that particular current. Fundamental component of current I1. So this is the total working of a thyristor for a fully controlled bridge rectifier with RL load and continuous conduction. And here again you can also note it down. Your output voltage V0 is nothing but 1 by pi integral alpha to pi plus alpha sin omega t d omega t, which you can derive it, and it is nothing but 2 Vm by pi cos alpha. So by controlling the phase angle of the firing pulses, your thyristors can operate the range from 0 to 180 degree, and this can work in rectifying mode and also in inverting mode, that we are going to discuss in the next section. Thank you.